Welcome to the Black Tower. I am your host, your guide, your brother, the Sorcerer Armanasul. I have been doing videos on the Necronomicon, all things Necronomicon. Recently going into the Aurelia text in depth, I guess, and starting a small series on magic, on the magic of the Necronomicon being, spell work, ritual work, things you can do. Well, tonight I'm going to give a rite because I have a good friend, somebody I consider a brother, that asked for this. Now, before I get into the rite in question, you know who you are. This is my video response. This is my ritual for you. With that in mind, let's get to this. Alright, so for this particular ritual, you're going to need a flat stone. You don't have a flat stone, that's fine. You have some clay, something that you can mold into a flat rock area. Or you can go out in nature and find one. Now upon this, you are going to need to put the three seals, the aura, the aga, and the bandar, right across the bottom, from left to right. Okay? Now, you are going to do a little bit of pre-preparation for this rite. You are going to need to combine the mandals from page 119 to 120. I would suggest draw out the design of the one from 119, just the squares, minus the squares on the outside because they represent the four seals. You don't have to do that. So just the square with the inner circle, or the inner outline of the square, and then the four chambers in the middle. You're going to leave everything blank outside of it. You're just drawing the design. And then you're going to go to page 120. And you're going to draw the general outline design of the two squares. One's a regular square and then one's turned sideways. Over the center 9 empty spaces. Now, the square that's been turned sideways is going to go up into the area of the mandal from page 119. That's fine. It's supposed to do this, and then what you're going to do is you're going to fill it in, doing all the drawings, the designs, everything. Now you're at the end, you're going to have an empty space in the center. This is great. You're going to need this. Now, on a separate square of paper, you're going to need to draw an upright triangle, dead center of it. The square represents manifestation, it represents the elements, so forth and so on. The triangle represents the Trinity, and it's the power, because we're going to be, in this spell, we're removing something. I'll go more into that in detail in a minute, but for right now, stick with me. So you have an upright triangle. You need to create a sigil that represents the desire that you're wishing to rid yourself of. Whether it's a habit, whether it's an addiction, whether it's something that you fight with, be it depression, be it anxiety, be it anything like this. You're going to create a sigil out of it. Because the reason we're going to create a sigil out of this is because it is going to represent a spirit or a demon that we wish to rid ourselves of. Now, let me go more into detail on that one. Now, on a piece of paper, you're going to have come up with the sigil. But now, on this little square with the triangle in it, you're going to draw that sigil in blood, because you have to empower it, because it's personal. It's coming from deep down inside the subconscious of you, and you're wishing to rid yourself of it, to make amends with it, to put it to rest, to put it to sleep, to where it will leave you the hell alone. Okay? Oh, you're going to need 8 candles, be them tea lights or whatever kind of candles you got hanging around. You're going to need 8 of them, because they're going to represent the 4 quarters and the 4 cross quarters. These are the 8 winds of Enlil. That's the symbolism behind this. It's not important. You're not going to be calling them out or anything like this. But this is all going to be done on the flat rock. The flat rock that has the aura, the aga, and the bandar on the bottom. You're then going to go and place the hand-drawn collective mandals right above the 3 symbols. Now, you're going to place the sigil that you've created dead center. You are going to have 8 tea lights or candles surrounding it. You're going to need 2 pieces of bread. You're going to need one that is used with honey and bread, because it's an offering to the dead, because you're pulling things up from the subconscious from the first realm of Gans area. I'll get more into that in a minute. But you're going to need 2 pieces of bread, one with honey, one with salt. You're going to start off this rite in a series. The very first offering you will be given as I go through this will be the offering of bread and honey. You're going to need a small glass of water. Doesn't matter if it come out of a spring, don't matter if it come out of your tap. It's got to be fresher than what the dead drink. So, they're not going to complain or bitch too much. Now, these are the things that you're going to need. You're also going to need your ritual regalia. Everything from the robe and cord, dagger banana, the crown of calling, breastplate, so forth and so on, the frontlet of calling, however you refer to it as. You're going to need all the tools that you've learned or worked with in the Magan, with the elder gods. Now, with that being said, you know who you are. This ritual is for you. So let me get to this. I had to put this together. I put this together just for you, and for anybody else watching this video. You can create a sigil of anything. You can use this exact same design, this exact same rite. You create a sigil of what you wish to work through and rid yourself of. Now, it must be noted that this must be done during the 3 nights of the dark of the moon. Now, in most magic books, they do not go into this sort of thing. This is considered very dark magic. This is considered just, wow, I don't know what you would call this, but it is dark magics. But dark magics are not something we're afraid of. We dwell in the dark. We are the light within the dark. We bring light to the darkness, and we make known the unknown. Remember, dark just means forgotten, like nighttime. It's just what's not often seen. So we're going to be bringing this shit into the light. We're going to be raising it from the depths, and we're going to be putting it to sleep once and for all. Okay? So with that in mind, let us continue. Okay, so now this is going to be coming from what I wrote concerning this, so ignore me. I will stop and explain a little bit better in detail. So here's the way I got this. Decide what needs to be removed from the self. Create a sigil representing it. Draw it in blood upon an upper triangle. Of course, I told you about the flat stone and drawing the mandal of calling from page 119 of the Simon Necronomicon paperback. Handy dandy, it's there. So you know what I'm talking about. Now then, minus the 4 quarters which I showed you. Instead, in their place, what you're going to be doing is if in your previous gate walkings you had created the 4 gates of the 4 quarters, you're going to place their squares in each of the quarters, and one of the 8 candles are going to go right on top of it. Okay. Now, this begins like any other ritual, okay? You cast your double circle about you in flour. Everything else, do the 4-quarter thingy and the summoning of the fire god and everything else, okay? Your watcher, the whole 9 yards. But we're not doing a gate walking here. We're doing magic. So let me get on with this. Okay, this is the part where I was... you combine the 2. Now, after you've cast your circle, and you've done, instead of doing the gate callings, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be calling the 4 gods of those quarters, okay? Now, a detail I left out, you will be facing west for this particular rite. Not north like you normally do, west. Because west is the realm of the underworld. West is the realm of the dead, man. It's where Narmataru and all that. You know what I mean? Okay. So you're going to be facing west for this particular rite. Now, instead of doing the calling of the 4 quarters, you are going to be calling the 4 angels or gods of those quarters, okay? Now, for you who do not know this, you will start even though this ritual is done facing west, you will start facing the north, and you will call most mightily upon Uster, Ustur, Uster. You will then turn facing east. You will summon Sed. Most mightily call upon Sed. S-E-D. Very easy to spell. Facing south, you will call most mightily upon Lammas of the south. Then you will come back round facing west and call forth Natig. Natig, once you have called all four of these, now don't forget Dagger of Banana. It's used for the conjurations. It's used for the callings and so forth and so on. Don't threaten these spirits. Welcome them with your heart, though, okay? Because they are the gods and the winds and the angels of those four quarters. And you're going to be calling them. After you have called these four, light the four candles of the quarters surrounding the mandal. After you have done this, and you have felt their presence, and you know that they are there, begin by lighting the other four candles. It does not matter the order, okay? But clockwise is best. So if you had called the north first, like you're supposed to, light the north candle, call Uster, light the candle. East, when you've called Sed, light the candle. South, when you've called Lammas, light the candle. West, when you've called Natig, light the candle. And then light the in-between candles. Northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest. This you have used and symbolically called the powers onto the stone, onto the mandals. This is how magic works. This is how you harness it for spell work. Okay? Now this whole time, you should have had your sigil dead center of the mandal. Now, do the conjuration of the fire god, the watcher, all that. Beforehand, have done the Anu Shubam Gigapsu Kish Gigi Garshagdi Sisi Amaradaya, which is the consecration of the temple and all that, offering your bread and salt to that. Okay? Make sure, though, that you save some bread and salt for the very end. This is important. Okay? Okay, so let me get here. Face west for this rite. For the 3 nights of the dark moon, you're going to be doing this for 3 nights in a row. The night before the dark of the moon, the night of the dark moon, and the night after the dark of the moon. Now, this is symbolic of the 3 queens. Nenkarsag, Nenkazi, Ningazida. Now, this is all symbolic, and this is all very powerful, and there's a reason behind why you do this. As you do this rite, every night, the spirit or the problem diminishes greatly. And you'll see this as you practice it, and as you do it, you'll be like, holy shit, he was right. Of course I am. You just got to put it to use. You got to actually do the work. Okay. But now for this one, you're going to need the Dur of Endur, not the Agamasaratu, because you're not making a covenant. You're working in the realm of the dead, in the realm of shades and shadows, and all that other good shit. You're working in the subconscious. So if you have your cracked bowl of the sages, your bowl of Tiamat, so forth and so on, all the better. I don't care if you've consecrated it or not. As long as you have the cracked bowl, which is going to represent the bowl of Tiamat, then you're on the right path. You're going to need this for this working. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to create a fire. I would suggest charcoal briquettes for like you would burn incense and stuff, or anything like that, anything that can consume and accept your offering. Okay. Now you're going to start off building the fire in the Dur of Endur. You're going to do the conjuration of the fire god, which by now I'm pretty sure you know that one. Okay, so you're going to conjure the fire god, and then summon your watchers, so forth and so on. But now here's where the real work begins. Returning and facing west, begin the invocation of the powers from page 200 to 201. Now, let me see if I can find where I saved my spot for that. It's called him to the Ancient One. Oh, excuse me. Nope. Invocation of the powers. Spirit of the earth, remember. Spirit of the seas, remember. And then names of the most secret spirits of Namarotuk. That's the one. So 200 to 201. You're going to recite this. What this is going to do is awaken in you a power over your life, power over your destiny, a power over your soul and your well-being. This spell is just fucking fantastic. This is how you claim the blood right. The blood of the ancients dwells inside you. This is how you tap into the blood of the ancients within you. This is how you focus their power inside you. Okay? Now, after you've done this, what you're going to do, begin the invocation of the powers from page 200 to 201. While reciting it, visualize the gate of Ganzir's broken star over your sigil. You remember I told you, the seal of Ganzir is a broken star. It is an aura, 5-point star, pentagram, in 2 halves. Okay? You're going to visualize this over your sigil. You're going to see your sigil like rise and glow, come up. Okay? It's very important that you do this. Name your demon or your problem that you made the sigil for. I don't care if it's addiction, depression, anxiety, focus, lack of focus, anything. But you're going to name it. Okay? Now, there's a secret behind naming something. When you name something, you gain power over it to know its name. And this is how we reclaim our power, just by doing this. Okay? Name your demon or your problem, etc., that you made the sigil for. Now, offer bread with honey upon it, for this is the food offered to the dead, to the spirit of your problem, saying, as you're holding the bread with honey on it, and you're holding it, you say, this bread, O spirit, do I offer you. Set it down on top of your sigil. This honey, O spirit, do I offer you. I didn't repeat myself. Let me say this again. This bread, O spirit, do I offer you. This honey, O spirit, do I offer you. Feed not upon me, but upon these offerings. Offer the fresh water. Clean water for thee, let it quench thy thirst. Fresh water for thee, let it sate thy thirst. What was awakened may now rest. What was stirred may now sleep. Now page 105, this is where I got these words. And the words, Bara ug udug uga. Must thou return to thy rest. And the words, Bara ug udug uga. Will thou return to thy sleep. By the words, Bara ug udug uga. Wilt thou remain till the stars are no more. I'm sorry, my camera is moving around a bit. Apologize for that. Wilt thou remain till the stars are no more. When you've said this, place the bread and honey upon the fire, or the charcoal brick burner thing, whatever you've got there, upon the fire. Close the gate of Ganzir by visualizing it coming together into the full sign of the aura. Seal it with the 3 signs. So trace over what you visualized when you see the gate being broken to being made whole into the full aura. See the aura seal itself, and then see the aga, and then see the bandar sealed over it. These are the 3 seals of Mashu. This is how you open and close that door. This is for spell work, though, okay? So now then, after you've done this, recite the exorcism of the crown of Anu from page 78. While wearing the crown, recite the exorcism against the possessing spirit, page 87 to 88. It is not enough that you do the exorcism of the crown of Anu. But you must also recite the exorcism against the possessing spirit. The possessing spirit here being the problem that you are trying to rid yourself of. Okay? And you say, well, anyway, so upon afterwards, after you've done the exorcism, after you've done the exorcism of the crown of Anu, and you've done the exorcism against the possessing spirit, the exorcism against the possessing spirit should be done over the sigil itself. Pick the sigil up, and upon the fire that you built within the Dur of Endur, burn it. Burn the sigil. Burn it in the fire. Let the Dur of Endur consume it. This is what Gabil's good for. Remove it. And recite, that is not dead, which eternal lies, but even in strange eons, even death may die. Pour yourself into it, all your anxiety, all your fears, all of it. Put all your energy into it, and let it be consumed. Okay? Don't forget to put the bread and honey onto it too, because you want that spirit to feed off of it. Okay? Now the water, I would not suggest drinking it or doing anything like that. Take it outside and pour it upon the earth. Give it offering. Okay? Now, where does the bread and the salt come in? Remember that exorcism, that cleansing of the temple, that Inushu Bam Gigapsu Kish Agigi Garshagi Sisi Amaradiya is up near around the Watcher in that chapter. You're going to want to do that to cleanse your area of the workings that you've just done. Now, after you've done this, close the circle. Thank the powers, the fire god, your watcher, the whole 9 yards, and let them go. Now, this is repeated nightly for 3 nights of the dark moon. The sigil is remade every night. And after, like I said, after the first night, you will notice that the spirit or force represented by the sigil becoming weaker. And oh wait, that's right. What does it also say in the Necronomicon? And the light from the stars shall dim. Well, this is happening in this too. Well, guys, this may have been cryptic as shit, but maybe for the one that I made this for, maybe you'll understand. Peace and blessings.